And your live folks back again with Lit Literature. This is your host, JP, aka The Demon, and we are going to attempt, though we will see how the flow of the episode goes, but we may or may not finalize our discussion on the Burning White. If we cannot finalize it, no worries. We will finalize it in some fun either clips or maybe bonus episodes. We also will release a full edited Brett Bet episode.
With Manny doing lots of shots.
I mean, there's lots to come on this. It's worth it because it is the finale to Brent Weeks, the Lightbringer series.
And overall, I will say, phenomenal. I loved it. It was so good.
That's not what you said in the previous episode.
So happy.
Don't believe him.
Shut the front door.
He got more
I was so happy that
All right.
to have finished a book.
So,
Every series. So good.
Let's go around.
Jeffrey. Your ice cube looks like Saturn.
Thank you. Let's go around the table and let everybody know who's here today.
Gary.
Brett, the director.
In the dream.
All right, that's the crew. You've been here with us, so here we go. We were talking about Andros Guile. We're going to move on now.
Yeah, we're done with him.
Let's talk about Gavin up
Oh,
the
Gavin.
tower.
Let's do it.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, here we go. Orholum and
Gavin. What do we? Yeah.
His name is
All right.
Jason.
His name's Daisy.
So
He's Gavin.
But we know
the other one's real Gavin. This is
we
Gavin.
talked about Tia.
Yeah.
Tia left the book, or
What?
the boat.
She did leave the book too.
I was gonna say,
Temporarily.
since Tia there,
She's like, F
why
this book.
did we never get to see her use sorry?
We never saw her use sorry,
that was
right.
so sad.
Yeah, I
You know why? I honestly do think it was another one of those instances where Brent was
Didn't
like,
have time.
how many books am I writing right now?
Why?
This is getting a little
Would
intense.
she not?
I think
stupid.
sorry was a
Sometimes
representation of
She
something
didn't have
else.
an opportunity to
Yeah.
because of the eye thing. Because
Yeah,
she
but
only murdered
she should
at
have
least-
used it against
Murder shark.
Abaddon. What are we calling him? Abaddon.
Aladdin.
How?
Aladdin.
She literally just can't see. It was a miracle that she didn't kill herself
Yeah.
by accident.
Or
dude.
kill
No, like I think that that sorry was something else entirely.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to be used as a weapon. It was more so like it's signifying his.
But it was also supposed to be a literally lost ability, a work of art that was phenomenal. Like
All right.
no one else could have created that in the current
But
time.
Kip did that a few times. Cover up
Yeah.
the ceiling. Cover
Yeah,
up the cart.
but this is a.
But he
So-
did that. He made the whip, and then because he did, he could do the ceiling.
that
Yeah,
is true.
training for him.
Yeah.
With the yellow.
Yeah.
So I know that we're going to get to Gavin right after this, though. I did love the scene where Tia comes in because she escapes from Murder Sharp after killing him with the cyanide in her tooth, but she's
So
so
amazing.
drugged out of her mind. And she walks in there and she's like, Kip, nice package. Wait, I'm not looking at your husband's
Tysus,
package.
yeah. Tysus is there, and she's like, "Oh shit!" She's like, "You look hot" or something. She's
Yeah,
like,
it was
you
just
look
amazing.
good. Like,
I just thought it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I do feel bad in that moment for that bit of sacrifice, but I love Tysus so much. So I'm like,
She
super-
seems like she'd be a fun drunk to hang out with.
Who, Tia?
Yeah. I want to party with her.
oh my god!
I still like Tia more than I like Tysus. Although I
Oh, no,
do
no,
like
no, no.
Tysus.
I love Tia more than I like Tysus, but I like Tysus for Kip more than I like Tia.
oh
I
my
think
god!
that they're just great together.
I think
Tysus
that Tia
is
and
like
Haydad are gonna
helping her.
No, I feel
so
like
good.
Tia and Quentin are gonna hook up.
That would
That's
be
what
so
I was
bad.
thinking. That's what I was kind of thinking, and I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I was
She
like, "Oh, this is gonna
commented
end up.
about
They're gonna end up together."
how she always thought Ben Haydad was handsome, and then Ben Haydad apparently is like a secret little hottie.
No,
Yeah.
Tia's gonna end up with me.
Okay, that's fine. So, but anyway, back to Gavin. So
Yes.
he's on the boat, and he has some amazing discussions with Gunnar, where he's kind of reawakening his. It actually helped him though.
Yeah.
Right. It helped
Yeah.
him find his own
Groove almost.
guts, groove, himself.
Yeah.
How Gavin got his groove back.
I was just about to say that.
Amazing.
So dumb.
All right. So I do got to say, I loved that scene where Gunnar was going to make it. Like he was gonna run it, and if it wasn't for Lucidonius, asshole sea demon,
Oh yeah,
He
they
would've
turning
made
the
it.
ship, and he's like, "We're not gonna make it." But then all of a sudden, he like shoots
Oh,
cannons out or something, and it like slows him down.
oh, it was amazing. Like just that's when you know it was like that pirate, the best pirate I've ever seen, or whatever.
This may be the best pirate I've ever seen.
It's just
Every
like-
scene with him, I'm telling you, I'm just
Yeah.
like, is he good? Is he bad? I don't know.
He's definitely insane. And he just is something else. But go ahead.
Did anyone else get super frustrated with that? So he does start to like kind of come back to himself. But I was getting so frustrated with Gavin, where it's like, you freaking idiot. This Orholam here is literally spouting out like lost knowledge from, and you're like, oh, maybe before being a galley slave, he was a historian. Like, you idiot! Like, this guy knows shit that he couldn't know.
He's
and
trying
to justify it.
downplay a lot of
It was. I was like, he's too smart for this.
I love the scene where Gavin's looking at the stones, or Holem explains like it's going to be the right one. It's going to be the like
right
if you
one.
pick the right one, it'll be light as a feather or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes, he's looking at them all, and he's like, definitely can't pick the smallest one.
Yeah, I've got a lot of pride.
And he hates his dad so much, he picks up the second to last
Well,
one.
he looks at the biggest one and he's like, this is probably the one I should have. And then he's like, but is it in regards to other people? Because my dad is definitely more prideful than I am. So he's like, I'll take the second one.
And he rolls the other one, and
And it's light as a feather.
just like, I loved that sound.
Yeah, that was
I just
so good.
loved it. But yes, Orholam, I feel bad for that guy in some way, because I know he'll get his, like, in a way, you hope that he'll get paid off kind of for the services. Because, like, remember, he was like avoiding being the prophet
For a long time. And then he got a
caused
lot
him
of
to end up-
retribution in this book.
And so, like, then he's like, he gives up and he's like, I'm going to do it. And then he sees all the future. So then he's like, well, I'm going to die unless you're a better man than I think you are.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you are a better man than I thought you are. But he still has to do the whole goddamn thing.
I know.
There.
I
And
love
then he's
the
like,
scene.
And then Orholam's like, you can't come up. He's like, no, Orholam said he can't come up. He's like right
Just
there.
sitting on the ledge, like,
Just like,
picking his
dude,
feet.
that guy's job, he better have a great payoff. Like, here's your retirement plan for life.
I know.
Kind of thing.
But can
No,
you
definitely
imagine
will.
He's just splattered at the bottom of the.
But he also, he's like, after, or like, I decided that I was never gonna lie again, and he's like, it doesn't work so well when you're a prophet and you're in the street and you're telling people you're like, you can see the future, and then they're like, punch you in the face and be like, did you see that coming? Oh my god! Because he's like, he promised himself, he's like, I'll never lie, and he's like, so I'm a prophet and I can see, like, I get foretold the future, and then he's like, people just walk up and punch him in the face, and he's like, did you see that coming?
I have to ask.
Wait, I feel like that was deja vu.
Oh, because Manny knows everything, so we punch him in the face all the time.
See that coming?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. So there is something I want to ask, because I had to go back a few times, and it actually irritated me. So Brent Weeks has a style where he'll put a devastatingly important thing in one comment, in one sentence, hidden in like.
Do you keep saying Brett Winks?
Brent Weeks?
Okay. I kept on hearing Brett Winks. And I'm like, what?
Dude, Elias. Hey, I may not be Brent Weeks, but I'm Brent Weeks. Or am I Brent Weeks?
All right, come on, we got 20 minutes. Let's go.
I'm sorry. That's true. So here's what I missed. He kept pushing on his iPad. He has the iPad chair. He keeps pushing on it. At some point, there was a comment where he pushed it and it like went into and formed into another eye.
Yeah.
And like, I had to go back and try to
read.
find it.
Yeah.
Because suddenly he was pressuring his eye patch because the pain
And he's like,
felt
oh,
good.
in my eye.
And
Yeah.
then suddenly he's like, my eye sees this now.
Wait,
and I'm
what?
like, what?
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
remember
like, okay, I
being
was
like-
falling asleep at that point, but I didn't fall that much asleep.
Yeah.
What happened? So I had to go back. So I want to ask you guys, what exactly happened? He was pressuring it, and then it like went into his body, into the eye socket, is what I got. And then he
See-
could see through it.
I do know. I remember
that
that he had a subtle change where it was like it was bothering him and it was hurting and he wouldn't want to touch it. And then there was a point where it changed where he's like, the comforting pain of like he was almost doing
started
like
pressure
a
it because
tick
it
where
was
he was
keeping
putting
him,
the pressure
like, on
on
point.
it. So it almost like some point it turned from a like this is a bad thing to be like my old patch.
No,
like
but
this
then
is
he
like
said-
I think he was using the pain to kind of keep himself like
So, yeah, there.
motivated.
But then suddenly he's looking through his black eye.
I remember him looking,
So-
but I don't ever remember the point that
Yeah,
happened.
so
I
there
remember
was
him
a
looking and be like,
very-
why is he seeing through the black eye patch?
No, there was a moment where he was doing that, pressuring it against his eye, and it actually went into his eye, and then it turned into
Well, it didn't go into his eye; it went to his eye socket.
was eye socket, but
And
then
it
it turned
became
into
an eye.
his,
It
it
became-
became
Yeah.
an eye.
Did
And-
he still have the patch
no,
over it?
No,
No.
he had a black eye that he could see through.
Like literally was envisioning that the eye patch had grown an eye.
No.
Like the not grown an eye, but the eye patch had like
or
he still had
hole.
the eye patch on, but he was able to see through the
Through
eye
it.
patch.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Well, no, I don't think it was necessarily an eye patch because I think the thing was like the black luxin and then something holding the black luxin in place.
Yeah.
So him pushing him in, it was actually like
the black
inserting-
luxin like,
into
went
his eye.
socket.
So it wasn't actually like he had an eye patch. He got the eye patch after the fact, which was from
Karis at the very end.
But yeah, they just called it an eye patch, and this dome
Correct.
was just strapped to the leather. on his
Correct.
eyes.
Oh, that makes sense. So then if he was pressuring it, it was actually just moving into his eye
Correct.
sockets.
Yeah.
Okay, I envisioned that he
Oh,
actually
good
had
play
a
on words.
patch.
I envisioned. Okay.
That he had a patch, and that all of a sudden the patch had like he started seeing through the patch.
But this is a Brent Weeks thing.
I thought he drew an eye.
Yeah, well, like I had I thought the eye patch
No, I
turned
got you.
into like
I know,
an
I got
eye
you.
outlet almost. Like you could
But
see it.
Brent Weeks, this is the thing. Like sometimes it's super important little like
Is in a
detail.
sentence.
It's something
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Wait, hang on. I had to like go back and check that
Oh, I
out
had to do that a couple times in that
Yeah.
in that
for
section.
sure. So then we find out as he comes up. Well, first of all, how irritating was it when he's throwing the boons out to make the jump? And our Holmes kind of like, I think the jump
The sword
adjusts. I think the
what you
gap
can do.
adjusts for you. He's like, I know I can't, but the sword was there the whole
he's like
time.
the sword's like 6 pounds or something. And he's like throwing out these like 2-ounce little boons or like little rocks. He's
And
like,
it's
well, here
crazy
goes like
because when
6
you're listening
ounces.
to it, he's like, save Kip, save,
Oh,
it just,
yeah, and
it's
he's
just
dropping
like,
them.
But he was doing it because he's like, I have to make it over to get this. And the thing that he kept,
Yeah.
I'll get my powers back,
Yeah, that was a bit.
was just
No, it was more so I'll kill or roll him.
But it was but the thing that was weird. The thing that I thought was almost contradictory with that too, though, is he was feeling like I thought that the like dropping the boons was a good thing because he's like releasing himself from these like
Desires
these
and wants.
desires and that really this isn't about me. And so that whole
Process
process.
the only one that's about.
That's
I
about
know.
him. I was like,
But what
Dude, he hadn't
that's why I'm
learned
saying
yet.
was conflicting is because he's like, oh, it felt like just a giant weight just came off of me.
until we got to the last one, which was himself,
Yeah.
and he failed that one. Now
Right.
he passes it later, yes, but that I was like, you.
Oh yeah,
dumbass.
Yeah,
like
but then
have
that
you
scene,
not?
I agree with Josh. Is like, oh, maybe everyone has to do this. Like the boons are just a test, and you
Yeah.
can't get to a home.
Okay.
And like demand stuff from him, like, oh, get me a wish.
Yeah.
I got it.
And it's like,
Except that the Orla Hold later is like, did you bring me a boon?
yeah.
He's like, no, I threw them all away.
But yeah, but in
Like, why would you ask me that? You already know.
Did you see that coming? Oh, it's so
Punches
good.
or home right in the face. Just see that coming home.
Oh, that would
How
be a
about
mistake.
oh my gosh, I literally like I had to stop probably about like 8 times in that very end climb because you're like you get up there and there's nothing and I'm like, oh, this means this means this, that's gonna happen. It's like, oh, this is what's gonna happen, and then it's like, oh, and then he starts to like walk around the edge and he sees an eye and I'm like, oh, something's there, and like that means this is gonna happen, this is this, and then it's like, oh, but then it's like, oh, that's really just a mirror, and then he keeps walking and oh, but there's something moving up there, and I'm like, oh, that means this, and I'm like, oh, but that's not our holo, that's like his brother. I'm like, what? Well, first you're like, oh, it's Gavin.
No, it's Lucidonius.
It's Lucidonius, and you're like, oh, that means this, and then it's like, oh, it's not Lucidonius, it's Gavin. It's like, oh, that means this, and then you're like,
He
oh,
was falling into
it's
that
Sebastian.
trap.
And like every time I'm like taking like 5 minutes to be like, what does this mean
What
for
does
the
this
book
mean?
and
That
the
was
rest of it?
That was
happened so
really
many times.
amazing
Keep
scene.
climbing.
It happened so
That
many
was
times.
amazing because when the guy came out, Sebastian, who we find out later is Sebastian, comes out.
Who's apparently super hot.
Well, it's another version of
Gavin.
them to some extent. They're all
guys are
very
attractive.
good looking.
But he's like the better. He's the best of them.
Well, actually, Kip looks like Sebastian.
Oh.
So just remember
Yeah.
that. But point is
Was
that
Sebastian fat, I wonder?
probably
At one
not.
point.
Probably not.
Probably not. It was probably Kip without going through the growing pains.
Yeah.
Anyway, point is that when he came out, and then Gavin was like absolutely sure, you motherfucker, Mother of Holum Lucidonius. I'm gonna have to edit that one out now. You mother of Lucidonius. And then he's like fighting Lucidonius, and it's hilarious because he's like, you're not really a god, you're just soft like a human. And then he would get like launched a ton of feet. And it was the entire purpose was to like drain him.
Yeah.
He was fighting his brother, but then when he saw the blade, I freaked out because he's like, oh, this. I don't, you were going to kill this, you were going to kill me with this again. And then Gavin's like, what are you talking about? You're not my brother. I killed my brother with Black Luxon spear. You
Yeah, nice
blah, blah,
try.
Blah, blah. And then he's just like, oh no, did I say it was Gavin?
Yeah.
I was just like,
I know. That
I kind of
part was
thought it was
good.
gonna be Sebastian.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
I did not. I was blown away.
I was not really. I kind of thought that it would be something.
There
I didn't
was so
expect,
much
but
about like
Sebastian
talking
was
about
just-
him, but you never actually met him. That I was like, he's gonna be like a part of the ending.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
my
it was
mind
so
went
awesome.
immediately to like, oh, is there like a just been a like a dude up here pretending to be God?
Yeah.
Just hanging out like.
Well, that's what I thought Lucidonius was going to
Sebastian-
do.
it's gonna be
Sebastian
down.
never died. He just like went up to the top of the mountain. Like,
Like,
God,
what the
now.
hell? It just was so crazy. But then when he describes what actually happened,
Yeah.
wow, that was just. I mean, it was even worse than what I was expecting because I was expecting it to be a lie. The story, around
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah.
But then it,
And it was a lie, but it was just crazy. What really happened?
Well, this was a giant
Yeah.
leap for an author because you typically almost never see anyone try and personify God.
oh,
Like because typically it's always like it's always the faith that you kind of have to
we don't
believe
know
in at the
that whole
end.
backstory.
And
though.
But
What who is our whole?
who
we
is
don't
our
know
host?
that yet,
But he literally was just like, oh yeah, this is him. And I like a lot the description where it's like, oh, he's just like me, and then it's like, oh, but really he's trying to put himself in a point that like I can even comprehend. He's got to be more vast than this, and like you get this sense that there's a lot more to it.
I got to
It's-
comment on this one thing. Did you guys catch this at all? So he tells Kevin, if you don't jump right, or well, Dazen, if you don't jump right now, you're gonna miss the time or whatever. And
Yeah.
he jumps in there, and he barely makes it. And he lands in there, and he's like, "Oh, you made it into the Machina." And then later he drops him right out of the Machina, like Deus Ex Machina. It was just an amazing little like cut where he's just like drops Gavin down out of a parachute.
Yeah, yeah, parachute. I'm like, what the frick is going on?
Gavin out of a Machina to save the day. It was
Awesome.
freaking awesome.
I don't know why, but like Luxon and magic and all this stuff I didn't bat an eye. But when I heard that he had a parachute, I was like, yeah, parachute.
He was flying. Why does he have a parachute?
That was the entire point. It's the same way that he has a gun to times in the worlds. It's clear. Brent Weeks makes it clear that our world is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them.
I literally, that's what I thought as I went to Wheel of Time, and I'm like, oh, is this like way in like the distant past or something, or is this like going to be something that's eventually going to
Remember
be
the
like
gun?
into our
that
stuff?
never any, like
Yeah.
he built this gun.
barely
and
broke
and
the
he's
rules
wearing
of
when you
physics.
first meet Abaddon, he's wearing a suit, like from our
Wait, are we
world.
talking about Abaddon or Aladdin?
Aladdin. When we first meet Aladdin, he's wearing a suit. So, but anyway, I thought that was hilarious. But
Yeah.
let's go back though.
But it was such an interesting thing to, and kind of I think a risk to say, like, I'm just going to show you God, like, and he's going to interact with him, because then obviously, like, there's a lot of
religious connotations.
Well, there's religious
too.
connotations, but there's also a lot of risk in writing that, because anything you put in there that's like a little bit like like, oh, that doesn't quite match. Like, oh, he's infallible. Like, oh, there's all this like issues. Like, there's a risk to trying to personify something that's supposed to be that
above our understanding.
Yeah, exactly.
He did a great job making it be like Orholm really is not getting involved. Like, there's rules to the game.
Like, yeah, he's like, oh, I could force you to do it, but then you're not you anymore. Like, I think that was a really cool input, and that was a lot of cool dialogue that they had when they were talking about like free will type of stuff, because they often do like that's a discussion like, do we have free will? Like, and you see that in a lot of books and a lot of different things. But the way they kind of described it here, it was a cool way of saying like, I mean, as soon as I could do it, then I probably, maybe some people would say I should, but as soon as I do it, it's not you anymore.
Yeah,
it's just me.
Yeah,
an extension of
what I would have done. Yeah,
yeah.
And it's like, in order to have,
I did it.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
What I did.
And it was so crazy because also Teal's friend, the Luxiat.
Yeah.
I always get his
Quentin?
name. Quentin. He had it so close to like the actual values of what a home is when he explained it to Tia about free will and
that was really cool.
How the choices what makes us free, and the same thing Home was telling Gavin.
Yeah.
And like out of all people, he has the one who has like the correct message of feelings of a home.
Now, I don't know about you guys how you feel about this, because I'm gonna take the conversation and maybe pinpoint it somewhere else, because I want to talk about Quentin and about Kip's death, his next death. But part of that has to do with Gavin, right? And I did feel like Gavin was a hero for sure, but like he really was able to work with Kip to do all of that, and I did love the amount of Luxon that he could really push. But I still felt Kip was like the real hero.
Oh my god, can we move?
And
Move along.
Sorry, am I too slow for Manny? But I loved that sequence when he died and that all happened, and I pretty much thought that was real. But Quentin just fucking offed Zino.
Oh, that was so good. He's like, you were being judged, mother trucker. Like, pulls him out. He's like, part of a Luxian's job is to root out like evil. I forget exactly what he says.
Yeah.
What he says was amazing.
It's
He's
actually
like,
it's disrespectful.
Face just
It is really sad that the Blackguard let it get so far, and that's a good reason why transparency in your objectives is important in an organization. Because when you don't really know, you're supposed to kill the crazy Prism. You
well,
don't
because it
kill
was the light
crazy
guard.
Prism.
It was the light guards there, not the black guards.
But they should have made that a priority once he was going insane.
They didn't know.
But the light guard was all just Andros'
They should have known,
private.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anybody who makes into the Blackguard...
No, the
should
light
know.
guard never made it to the black guard.
No, I know the Light Guard didn't. I'm saying all of the Blackguard's first job goes from protecting the Prism to killing the Prism the moment the Prism's an insane maniac.
But he didn't get called, or he didn't get like made the Prism until it was.
Yeah, it was a stupid. Who's the blue Luxiat that decided to be like, well,
That's
we
the-
just named him the Prism.
One
now.
that Kip was supposed to kill.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Oh, another one of Andros's like foresight that probably.
That was Gavin.
That was Gavin.
Oh, you're right. That was Gavin.
Gavin just figured that guy needed to go.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But that was so stupid.
It's just funny
like,
how like Andros later on is just like brings you back to like you were my favorite son. Why? Because you had my intelligence, but also your mother's compassion for.
Kaitos the Blue. That was it.
Yeah.
Kaito.
I think that's such a cool name.
Yeah, his name was cool, but you hardly got to see him. But I like when I read that, I'm like, what the frick? So he just named the Prism? Like he just did it? Just be like, okay, now you're the Prism. And he's like, all right, well, I'm good to go to the parade.
He was trying to kill him.
But he wanted him to burn himself out on
His
the.
face.
Oh, because he wanted to blow himself on the Mia.
On the
so
Mia.
that they would kill him.
Yeah.
He didn't want another Guile and Power.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
But I going back to Kip and when he was like trying to reach out, like what really like hurt me a lot was when he's sitting there and I'm like, oh, he's freaking doing it. He's doing it. And then he's like reaching out and he's from the eye of Orholm's glare is like reaching out and taking control of the freaking.
And then Liv just broke
things.
the
And then
book.
Liv's just like, nope. And I'm like, what the? No, really? But then he does the freaking white Lux in the
She's like, I gave you the
so-
opportunity.
I know, yeah. You didn't do
You
it.
messed up.
I feel bad for Liv, to be
I feel
honest.
bad for her.
Oh, remember when
also
she heals
Her father.
her father?
She did heal him.
She's
but
just like, on a whim. And but I love
I don't even know why I felt that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't even realize she's losing that battle. That's the sad thing.
Correct.
Because
But she didn't realize that she realized that the Farracrux, whatever her name was, but she was realizing that the little demigod or the fallen guy was trying to control her. She's like, oh, give him 100 years and he would have had it at that. Now I know better.
no, but that's her
But
telling her.
she leaves and she's like, okay, she's
literally
gonna fall to it
she
again.
had what, a matter of months, 1 year, and she almost was lost.
Yeah,
It's like she's a fool. It's exactly what they want.
They left that I'm like, they could totally do so much. Like,
Yeah.
they left that open.
She's
like,
also going beyond the
you ever-
Everdark gates.
yeah.
So,
'cause
can
she
we
wants-
talk about how awesome all of these people's names are? Like, I really love them. I really
Farracrux
do.
or whatever
There's
was
so
their
many
name,
things that I really
her
enjoy. Like,
goddess
how does
name.
he even come up with these names?
Yeah.
Haruru, Hardoon.
I don't know about you guys, but I already
Andrastia.
own my book of baby names when I
Maybe Andrastia.
Roxer,
Andrastia.
Andrestia.
She was
Like,
awesome.
all these names are just so cool. Like, so
Tia. Oh wait, that's a normal
That's
name.
Andrestia.
Andrestia.
Oliviana.
Just kidding.
Yeah, Liv.
It's pretty
But
amazing.
Liv's father,
Cornivus.
Corvus.
Danavis.
Montepas.
Corvus Danavis.
Like Danavis. Ah, so cool. I don't know. That's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
By the way, he was a beast.
He was so amazing.
When he
Red
he
Golem.
didn't go. Yeah, he went almost like Red Golem, and he's up
went
there
Red-
just
No, he
like
went Red
throwing
Golem.
the freaking the powder kegs down and just blowing them up. That was
Yeah.
so
Oh my
sweet.
God.
She kept on calling him my giant.
You know, they always my Goliath
Titan.
or
my
Titan.
Titan.
That was
Yep.
it. Yeah, it was amazing.
We got there
because-
eventually, guys.
Shut up, Brett. I kill you.
My this.
Dude, but
It's like
he like
These guys.
Karis coming or seeing him in action and being like, I was doing this, but he's doing it 10 times as fast as me. She's like, dang, he is crazy intelligent.
Well,
like,
this-
strategist.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's why he's the general, and that you know.
I was like, dang, that's awesome.
That's why he was trusted
So
to
cool.
do so. But the amazing thing also is that they talk about his like handicap of only being able to draft one color.
sub red or
And
whatever.
Just red.
It's just
not
red.
silver.
Red.
And he could only draft red. And they talked about that a ton. But then you see the efficiency and the ability that he drafts that red with. It's like something else. Because he was so focused.
So perfected on that one color.
Yeah,
bro.
it's
Right.
like Kit
Bruh.
would. I don't know that he would ever necessarily get there with one color because of the fact that,
That he has all the colors.
all of them.
Well, he pretty much did it with yellow. He was like drafting yellow as good as anyone
drafted
possibly
perfect
could.
yellow.
Are you about to die?
Apologies.
Yeah. So
No, that's Orholm calling him.
Okay, yeah.
So what
I
do you
got a
guys,
button.
what do you guys think? Who's next?
your beeper
We've
say?
got a little time left, and then in the next episodes we'll do.
Can we talk about the Iron White? Because we haven't talked about her in forever. Like, what the heck, man?
You want to do the Iron White, or do you want to do end this episode a tiny bit early and do a clip?
Before we do the Iron White, I do have one question. So, who's Kip's mom again?
Cheers.
Simon! We talked about this!
Andros screwed
Simon!
Come on. Okay, I think we should end it.
You are so
do the
dumb.
clip.
You are
Yeah.
really dumb.
Okay.
I'm going to leave
Let's
it up
do-
to a vote because we'll
have a
either do
short
the Iron
episode?
White or we'll do the clip now.
I don't want to cut her off at just 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So we'll
I'm
do
okay
the
with
clip.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And we'll
And
do
let's
another
do,
full
uh,
episode after the
Should we end with final thoughts?
Could do it after.
Final thoughts.
If you guys want. If you guys want to go get some food, take a break, we could always come back and do
Final
more.
thoughts?
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm saying we could.
I know we could, but that's
Oh,
not
okay.
going to
Final thoughts?
All right.
So my final thoughts.
Well, actually, we're having another episode, so we don't need final
Yeah, you don't
thoughts.
need-
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, you're so bogus!
I'm sorry. I
final
thought-
Brett was like, hold on, let me throw
Yeah, yeah. Final
And
thoughts?
Josh was like,
I got it.
Bite! Brett's like, never mind!
All right, give me that bait back.
All right, people. So
Brett's like, got him!
what we're gonna do is this particular episode is almost like a half episode.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut it. I'll release
welcome.
it simultaneously with the next clip, which you will see just after
On
this.
YouTube.
on YouTube. And then we'll have another episode, not only where we'll discuss the Brett bets, but we'll finish off some of the character studies.
Karis.
And Karis is one of them. And if there's any more,
we
not a
didn't
problem.
talk about Tia and the wine.
The Brett bets is going to be an intense conversation. So we're going to need a full episode for that.
Yes.
So we have at least 2 more episodes and a YouTube clip.
That's right.
All right.
All right.
And we also have an episode dedicated to how Zyman gave birth to Kit.
I will say that I do think you guys are going to want to check out the YouTube clip. It's interesting.
Because we're going to have Manny and Jeffrey enact that scene.
Yes.
I'm actually going to play the actual audiobook voice for these guys. Thanks again for joining us for this episode of Lit Literature. If you liked us, please check out our social media at Lit Literature 1 at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't hesitate to join in on the conversation. We appreciate the conversation, the questions, book recommendations, anything of that sort. Join in right on the social media websites. And don't forget to check us out at our website, litliterature.com, and our upcoming projects, though there aren't many now besides Lit Literature, you can find at lyket.net, Lyket. We do have a Patreon account, but if you truly want to support us, please like and share. Cheers.